Looks live to me.
Welcome, everybody. Week 8, 2017 Web.com podcast. Joining me once again, the esteemed co-commissioner, reigning web champion, Austin Brock.
Welcome, guys. You can find me at Twitter at abrock2312.
And also have coming back as well, the wait, Brock, you were here last week, weren't you?
I was, yeah, with Dave.
That's right. Caleb's
This
the
guy
one that's
skipped.
been skipping on me. Yeah,
He's muted
Web.com
again.
reporter.
No, he's muted again. Oh,
Caleb!
God. Oh, God.
God damn it.
There he is.
If this happens during pod and all of a sudden I can't hear you, we're gonna have a
I'm just
problem.
gonna go back to the earbuds.
No, we're good now.
Sound like Kylo Ren right now. Okay, Caleb's
While
having
he's here.
difficulties. We're gonna get this thing rolling.
What do we got?
Yeah.
News? I think we have a trade.
We do. Breaking news.
Recent one. Breaking news.
Very breaking news.
Oh.
Josh
Yeah.
is sending Chris Thompson to Carter for a second and Josh Reynolds.
It's a real interesting trade here. We got Carter making like a push for the playoffs kind of trade right here.
Yeah, he gets a huge win over Dan this week, and all of a sudden he's like, I'm in.
Something's wrong.
I could just hear you.
Something is wrong.
Something is dangerously wrong here.
Nothing is working. I can't hear
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
talking? Yeah, you must.
Yeah, I hear you.
Blink 3 times if you can hear me. Okay. All right. Well, what the hell?
All right, Caleb,
Hear us
figure it
now?
out.
Oh, this is fantastic.
She's muting everybody.
Oh, well, I muted Abrac now. It's kind of hoping that would do something. Besides that,
Jesus Christ, Caleb.
um,
Can you hear us?
couldn't tell you what's going on right now.
Is there a messenger in this? Yeah, there is.
Maybe send me another invite. Caleb, stop. Oh, you're talking. All right. It's not gonna get fixed, man.
Plug the other one back in.
I can't read lips that well. Astros. Okay. Yeah.
This is good. Now, why is Brock muted for me? Caleb, what did you do? Oh, my Lord. Oh, there you are.
I accidentally muted myself.
Nice.
Caleb, can't hear me?
Caleb Rip?
No, I can't hear Caleb.
Caleb is Rip.
He's rip. He's so dead.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Hi?
Kylo Ren?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, unplug your mic piece and plug it back in, if that's the kind of style you have.
This?
Never mind, dude. It's fine. Just pull it away from your face.
Okay.
Yeah, that is nice, Caleb.
Oh, yeah.
That is nice.
Sorry about that. I don't know.
That's all right. It'll be a good opening segment.
Oh, God. When you put.
Fuck.
I hear you again, Caleb.
No, we can hear him again. No. God damn.
It's unbelievably conned. Like, what the hell?
Unplug it and plug it back in.
Yeah.
Your mic piece. Your mic piece.
The mic piece.
Mic piece. There we go.
Wait,
What
is it
does
working?
do? Yeah,
Yeah.
you just made it
I
work.
unplugged it from the computer.
You unplugged it from the computer.
Yeah.
Can,
All right.
and-
Well, let's just hope that it
keep
rides.
it like that. So how is it plugged in then?
It's just
Are you
Yeah.
even?
the cord is plugged into the Mac and it plugs into
Okay.
this.
Okay,
Let's-
gotcha. Well, it's working right now.
Does it work?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
It's working. Let's write. Okay.
Where were we? Oh,
All right. So,
we were talking about trades.
yeah.
Oh, I missed out on trades. All right.
Chris Thompson goes to Carter. Yeah, I mean, kind of an interesting move for Carter. I mean, he's still, not in it really, but kind of has some momentum.
I feel like this trade for Carter, since he doesn't have his own pick, was purely to spite Tim. Carter's a buyer just to keep his draft pick high. He doesn't care what his actual
Ooh.
record is.
It's incredible too, because now Tim loses Zeke. Like
Yes.
maybe Tim kind of starts, plummeting a little bit, and his draft pick gets a little worse.
Oh yeah, talk dirty to me. More of that.
Oh my god, I hate Tim. So, all right, I didn't do game of the week poll this week, and there was 2 games that I felt like could have won, but I gave it to Brock and Caleb
Thank you.
because I felt as though there was some stipulations there that were not really present in me and Parker's game. But so we'll start with you guys. I think a lot of people predicted that this was going to be the week that Caleb decided to finally lose a game when he scored under 140 points, and that was indeed the truth of the matchup.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a typical week for me, I guess. It started off hot, got 18 out of Mosley and got 12 out of Legatron. And I was feeling really good. And then Sunday came and the usual projection droppage happened of about 30 points. And by about 3:30, I was pretty much out of it. So I don't know. Don't really know what to think of this team right now. I don't know if I want to buy. I don't know if I want to sell. I don't know what to do. I'm in a bit of limbo here with the squad.
Yeah, see, the good news for your team is that you're 5-3,
Mm-hmm.
which puts you at tied for the second best record in web right now. The bad news is you're still scoring 130 points a game, and you have the lowest WIB in web at a absolutely miserable 2.8. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you, Caleb.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Let's talk about 2.8, okay? Last season, the lowest WIB in the league was Josh with 2.7. That team was 2-12.
All right.
You are already outperforming your theoretical wins. You're playing at the level of a 4-10 team right now. But you know what, man? That's why we play the games.
Exactly.
And not going to
creating
say
a
that,
real nice argument that Caleb needs to sell.
I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody how to run their teams, but Caleb, you might as well just trade me Amari and Michael Thomas.
They're both pretty old up there.
Yeah,
Not rookies.
They are.
They aren't
Getting up
rookies.
there.
That's true.
Yeah, just give me some picks. That's all I want. Give me some second round picks. Let me
I'm
own
out
the
of
second
those.
round.
So Brock, you finally have pulled into the second place spot in the Pac-5.
Yeah, I got to see my team in a playoff spot now.
Yeah,
Pull up that playoff bracket. Pretty nice.
once and for all, your team deservedly moves into a playoff spot. So I think that for you at this point, like, you're one game behind Tim, and now Tim is probably losing Zeke. Still can't for sure say that that's happening, I don't think. Like, it might be a cluster.
It is, but it isn't.
Yeah. Like, but I mean, at the same time, like, Zeke or no Zeke, like, let's get this out of the way. He's played 7 games with Zeke in the lineup, and he is still scoring almost 17 points less than you are per game. So it's not like having Zeke in the lineup was like, you know, the difference in him being able to match up with you. Now it's just going to get worse. Mm-hmm. So I think that, like, clearly you're in the position, like, to pull ahead of him here. It's just a matter of, can he hang on to the wild card spot, or will somebody else take it? But we'll talk about Tim later. But yeah, for you, I mean, 3 straight wins now, like, I mean, pretty standard stuff after kind of a weird little 2-3 start. But
you survived the week that I had to start Latavius Murray and Buck Allen and also Josh Doxson. So
yeah,
that's good. Come on, Caleb.
I know.
Dude, after that Thursday game, I was thinking that it was actually going to happen.
Yeah, you got his kicker going off. Mosley, what was that, like 35 points between the two of them?
Yeah.
It seemed like destiny. And then you got out to a quick Sunday start, and I was like, wow, he's just going to trample me, and I'm going to be 4-4. That's great. Like 4-4, just made another win now trade. But yeah, things quickly got to how they should have been. And yeah, we held on. Brady Gronk connection helped out. It stopped Caleb's momentum there early Sunday.
Yeah. The waking up to Crowell having like 13 points was the weirdest. I was like shocked. I was just like, I was half asleep, half dead. And I just see Crowell just like with a touchdown. I'm like, this is actually going to happen.
Yeah, that was the quick start. Because I remember I tweeted at like 10:30.
I know, I saw that.
I hate fantasy football today already because what was happening with mine? Something was happening.
It wasn't.
What was it? Who did I have in the early? Latavius Murray.
Oh, yeah, Latavius.
Getting thoroughly outplayed. And Isaiah Crowell actually scoring points. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, I was feeling good at that point. But Sunday just sort of fell apart for me. But
big McCoy acquisition came up huge.
Yeah, that'd have been nice if I'd had him, you know.
Yeah, obviously that was a huge trade for your team, Brock, and he showed up for you in this matchup. So you're currently 1 point per game behind Dan for second in scoring. We still have this like massive tiering happening where it's like me, you, and Dan, and then kind of like everybody else. But yeah, dude, I think
I don't know. I was just laughing about
us,
me and Brock picking up our beers at the same time and then sitting down at the same time.
Trying to cheers them, you didn't get it.
Oh, sorry,
Brock.
This is great radio. Great radio.
Yeah, they can totally see it. You know,
if they watch the show, they can.
Check it out on YouTube.
Caleb did that last week.
I did that before it even came out. I wanted to have
I saw that.
The facial reactions really make it.
You don't get the elite production value.
That's true.
But you don't get Kurt Angle's theme song.
That was done very well.
I wanted to check that out. I know Tim tweeted about it. I probably will after this. It's probably incredible. Because all I saw was insert music here. You guys are chuckling, and then it started.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice job, Brock. Big win.
Thanks.
I love you, Brock. All right.
Love you too.
So now, shifting gears a little bit, move over to the Big Five. And 1 week after it seemed as though the moneymakers were looking a little bit vulnerable, they come back with a week high, and they beat the number 8 Wib, reigning Big Five champion himself, Parker. What do we think?
Big high scoring affair here. Also, Will Fuller is my newest thing that makes me angry on a weekly basis.
Yeah, what the hell? So dumb.
I will be
Now
the
that I'm
first
done
to
being-
admit that everything has just gone like so right for me this year. Like it's ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
all of my draft picks have turned out like Smith-Schuster was I thought was a really like good value pick for me at the top of the second, and now he's like all of a sudden like I saw something on Twitter today. He's like worth more than Sammy Watkins. That's a literal take that I saw from a dynasty person.
Wait. Oh, yeah. I saw that. It's like I think I saw someone did a vote on it, and when I voted, it was like almost equal, and he had the slight edge. Also, like worth way more than Jarvis Landry. I saw based on
Yeah, there was a bunch of those. Like,
Yeah.
who would you rather have? Things. Yeah. So I mean, that hype is a little bit much right now, but like at the same time, like seems like he's going to be a really good player, and
Still
I
in
mean,
the 20,
Fuller
right?
is stupid good right now.
Sounds like maybe you should sell Juju high.
Dude, I
Yeah.
came dangerously close to trading Juju for Chris Hogan straight up like 3 weeks ago, and I would have actually hung myself if that would have happened.
Juju's the classic case of like too much groupthink because he should have been in the first round of like dynasty drafts, but like someone started and was like Juju's not that good, and then eventually got everyone going, and I held my guns as long as I could, but eventually I had to give up on it. And here we are.
It's just the typical USC wide receiver thing, you know, like, oh, he's not that fast, so can he really be like that good?
Separate.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like he's been unbelievable so far, like in such a short period of time. Like you just said, Caleb, 20 years old, so plenty of time to like still grow
That's crazy.
into himself. But yeah, no, I just like honestly, it's unbelievable to me that like first of all, like I keep seeing this production out of players that like I didn't really think I was going to be able to count on heading into the year. Like Will Fuller obviously was one of those things where it's just kind of like, all right, like he's starting the year hurt, and what am I really going to get from him anyway? And now it's just like bona fide, like put him in my lineup wide receiver. Like, I mean, it's just my team it's been kind of weird to like see everybody performing. Like Deshaun Watson, quarterback one, like didn't expect that, obviously. So I texted Tim yesterday. I was like, my team has set me up for a massive disappointing first round exit in the playoffs. That's what's gonna happen.
You'll soon realize how that feels. You just kind of like block it out. Like I still don't remember what my reaction was to losing 2014 because I just like completely dropped fantasy football from my mind for like 4 months. I couldn't feel anything basically.
I didn't make the playoffs in 2014. Brock, you went 14-0.
I didn't even play fantasy football that year, man.
Oh my God, that's one of the more ridiculous things that's ever happened. But
yeah, all this with Dalvin blowing up his knee too.
Right,
he was a hot shot.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been pretty crazy stuff. After last week, I was kind of like wondering if I was gonna maybe start to fall back down to earth a little bit, but this week, obviously, like still seeing like, and this was on a week where Kareem Hunt like had his worst week of the season as well. So like, you know, it's just I don't know. It's fun. Like I'm having fun this year. It's nice. I don't want to quit the league. So Parker though, like
Kareem Hunt hasn't scored a touchdown since week 3, I believe.
Washed. Bust. Call him a bust.
Bust. So busted.
You know what, Caleb? I could say so many things, but I'm better than that.
Say it. Say it.
How's
Okay.
Hunter Henry doing? How's Jamal Adams doing? Come on.
They're doing all right, man. That was an okay trade. Just wait for Marlon Mack to take over the Colts backfield, man.
I love you, Caleb.
Me too.
Hey, let's talk about Parker because what a great guy. First of all, he texted me last night. He said, "Good game," with like the drooping, like sad face emoji. And I was just like, come on, man. Don't do that to me. Come on. And it was like a nice little thing where he's like, "Go get the big 5, man. It's yours now." And I was like, oh my God. So pretty emotional little game between me and Parker, but yeah, he lost with an 8 win. Like, it's kind of a heartbreaker, like,
oh yeah,
far and away the number 8 win, like by 20 points. So
especially coming off 2 subpar performances in like the 120s, 110s, drop 170 and play the highest scoring team.
This is supposed to be his roller coaster week where it continues. He puts up a big week and gets the win, except Mingo had to stop that there.
So yeah, now low-key Parker's 4-4 here, and he is one miraculous comeback away from being 3-5. And he's also one lineup fix start from being 3-5.
Yeah. I know, like, that's the thing is we've kind of been like, it's been like a common theme that we've kind of been knocking Parker down a little bit this season. But, like, this is the first week in which he, like, lost, a game that, like, theoretically he probably should have won. Before this, his losses had all been, like, bad performances. Now you kind of get this, like, okay, he's got the 8 WIB. Like, how do we value this loss? But at the end of the day, like, he's 4-4. There's only 6 games to play. Like, I mean, I think that the good news for Parker is what's happening with the teams above him. Because we were just talking, like, Tim is probably, I can't even say probably because you don't really, like, it's week 8. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, Tim is 6-2 and he's been not performing super well all season. But now losing Zeke, like, you have to kind of expect that he's going to drop some games down the stretch.
Oh yeah, Parker's got to have the edge team-wise now, minus Zeke.
Right.
2 games back now.
Right. And, that's kind of the thing here is, like, Parker's 4-4, and you kind of, like, are starting to think, like, oh, does this team have, a nice run in him to get that wild card spot? But, like, I definitely think that the circumstances are setting up right for him to be able to have a chance to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of if his team can respond and win some games down the stretch.
Should be able to. Squad's still strong, like Hopkins, Evans.
Yeah. The talent is there. It's just been a very, like, rocky season, ups and downs and stuff like that. So
now Kelvin Benjamin over to the Bills.
Oh yeah.
Interesting trade.
Wild.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Like, I actually knew when the NFL trade deadline was.
Yeah.
That's a first.
Right? I know.
It's like, wait, it's done? Can't trade anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's irrelevant anyway. Today it was like, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, this was like an MLB trade deadline kind of a day.
It's weird how much it's been escalating, like, the past, like, year or two, like, the big trades that are actually happening. It's fun to see, actually. I don't know.
I never understood, like, why they didn't happen either. Like,
I never did either.
These are, like, there were never, like, big trades, like, past how many years? And then, like, the past year, maybe? Like, the Sammy Watkins trade really, like, kicked it off, I think. And all of a sudden, it's just bang, bang, bang.
I just think that draft picks in the NFL are so much more valuable than, like, in any other sport.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, every trade that happened today, I thought, like, oh, that's not enough for that person.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
People are giving up 4th-round picks and getting JJ's back. Like, why isn't everyone doing that?
Yeah, that's, like, I still think that it's kind of, like, that's kind of ridiculous. Like, a 4th-rounder for a JE. But, like,
I don't care what's wrong with his knees. 4th-rounder, like, bang.
Well,
I'm making that in a heartbeat.
The same thing goes for, like, Marcel Darius, like, a 7th-round pick.
Yeah.
Like, and it was all because of his contract. Like, that was the reasoning. Like, they didn't want the contract and nobody else was going to take it, so they gave him up for 7th. but like, you got to be kidding me. Like,
just a whole
Even
bunch
for
of bunch of factors that I'm just not quite big brained enough to understand.
yeah. Yeah, no, it was what a crazy day today. That was for sure. And like, I don't like. What do you think about Kelvin Benjamin? Like, does this help him or not?
It feels like it's the same. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Like,
kind of what I was
Tyrod
thinking.
Taylor throwing it to him. It's like it's not like it's about the same competition.
Does like all he does is do big wide receiver ball anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if it really affects it too much.
yeah. I don't know.
What about on the Panthers side? You got Funchess is getting an elevated role. Maybe McCaffrey, Samuel. We'll see some.
I had somebody text me today. Like, obviously this isn't web level stuff, but like somebody asked me if they should trade Kareem Hunt for Devin Funchess and Jerick McKinnon. I quickly said no. But that also goes to show how like ridiculous like the Funchess hype like is all of a sudden getting.
Yeah.
And now with the trade, like, oh, he's the number one and like whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
let's calm down here, cereal box. All right.
Can I just dick is out? I see it. Sitting in the
We're tucking in my waistband. It's funny Funchess votes, man. I'm excited. I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't really expect anything, but it's fun to see that he's gonna have more opportunity. Maybe I don't know.
I have never wanted you to do anything more than I want you to go back to hide your children. It's unbelievable. Every single time I see that goddamn cereal box, I am just ready to flip my computer.
Oh yeah, we'll see.
Now with almonds.
Now with almond, a free L in every box.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's talk about the game that everybody was talking about this weekend. Carter and Dan.
Yeah.
So yeah. What a win for Carter. I mean, this is one of those like smarky like upsets of the season, I would say. Like, doesn't happen super often, but when it does, it's like, oh, Josh beat Parker, or Carter beat Dan. Like, it's kind of wild.
Mm-hmm.
But it also kind of plays to the idea that we've been kind of talking about all season, which is like Carter doesn't have a bad team, and he's just not been winning games. Like, he's been performing at a decent level. It's just he was like 1-6 or 2-5, 2-6 or whatever, and now he's like 3-5. So like, okay, so he never had 6 losses, but it doesn't matter. Point is, he's got 2 wins in a row, and both are in the 150s, and he's got 1 win over Dan, and he's making buying moves. Like, is Carter trying to get into this thing?
It's a savage. That was a savage trade.
Was.
He beat Dan down his best player too. Best player to buy.
Yeah,
I know. Like, it's pretty.
You get a 0 out of Marquise Goodwin. Like this, God, the points just don't add up here. It's weird. Just
the defense
box score, yeah.
The defense was,
and Kai Forbath. This dude can take any kicker. Wow, Kai Forbath. God,
any kicker he touches is just magic.
16 out of Kai Forbath.
That kid knows how to spot a leg.
Yeah, wow.
Oh my God, Kicker Factory, Troy Cars.
Factory, yeah.
Every week we're talking about it. He's
gonna make a sweet deal here once he gets Greg the Leg back in lineup. Kai Forbath is gonna fetch a sweet penny on the trade market. I think.
Does he have the 1 and 2? Like, what is where? So
yeah, I think he does the 1 and 2 kickers right now. Kicker Factory
commanding the kicker market. That's pretty savvy. I love it,
dude. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Carter's in play. He's in play for a playoff spot.
You gonna make a move?
I'll say it. Like, okay, the kid right now is 4th in WIB.
Wow.
4th in WIB and 5th in points. Or sorry, 6th in points by like decimals. And he's 3-5. in the middle of the league where like things are kind of just shifting all the time.
And
Like,
Jay,
yeah,
much
Like-
better situation.
much better situation for Jay. Trades for Chris Thompson. Now all of a sudden the running backs like are pretty solid. And like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like I just like I'm not gonna say that it's like, oh yeah, like it's like he's kind of like in position, but like it's definitely possible. Like he could win out and be 9-5, or you know, he drops a game and he's 8-6. Like 8-6 might do it this season. But I mean, it's not. I mean, he's playing in the Big Five. Like, it's not going to be easy for him. Like, he's got 2 games with Parker yet, a game with me, a game with Dan. But like, I don't know. He's on the outside looking in, but it's definitely not out of the question.
I'm here for it. I'm starting Carter playoff watch 2K17. Let it ride.
Let's just talk about this. Let's talk about the fact that Carter came into Webb, made a trade that sent Melvin Gordon to Dan. People crucified him for it. It ended up being an awful trade for him. But this kid, since he has come into Webb, has turned around a franchise that was absolutely abysmal. And he has made it into something respectable in a very short period of time.
In a trade like shortly after that one, like I don't remember how soon after that, but he low-key fleeced me that never gets talked about. I traded Stephon Diggs for Marvin Jones and Matt Jones.
Wow.
That's right. I forgot
Wow.
about that.
Yeah.
You were the original Diggs person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, yeah. But that's the kind of stuff. He's made bad trades, he's made good trades like everybody else in the league. And at the end of the day, like this team, this franchise, which has a very bad history, very losing history, has made itself respectable during the time that Carter's been the owner. And now you see it like in this kind of a season where like it's ultimate parity and kind of like everybody's in the mix aside from like 1 or 2 teams. Like he's kind of got it like right in that position. Like he's 4th in win. Like he's 4th in win. You know, like that's impressive.
Yeah.
So I gotta give you a pat on the back, Carter. Nice work.
It's Carter dick sucking week, I guess, here.
I feel like it's been like low key like that the whole year. Like we've been like, oh, what's Carter been doing? Like making some nice moves.
Got those teams that we rip on every week, and then teams that we low key are just stroking. Parker gets ripped on every week. Carter gets to I like what Carter's doing here with this team. It's not winning right now, but it could be. It could be.
It's all about the drama. It's all about how can we spin it. Spin zone, spin cycle. All right. So Dan,
please credit part of my take next time you use spin zone.
Is that honestly what that's from?
Yeah, they made it big.
Well, I'm so disgusted that I used it then. Just absolutely disgusted.
That was awesome.
I'm gonna throw up on air.
Come on.
Ooh.
All right, Dan. 1 week after we talked about that he may be the best team in Webb right now. Obviously, like 1 week doesn't change anything, but at the same time, he loses this week to Carter. I mean, he still had the 5 WIB, so it wasn't a terrible week by any stretch. But like, you know, his 5-game winning streak is over, and now he moves back 1 game behind in the pack or in the Big Five. I don't think that, you know, obviously there's really no way that you can like distort this week as like, oh, what, you know, is Dan going to be okay? But at the same time, like it definitely hurts like to have all of that momentum and to drop a game. And now, you know, he's got some ground to make up once again.
His defense finally let him down here. Didn't really give him that 60-point cushion that it usually does.
Yeah. Yeah. With what Carter's defense did this week compared to Dan's, like, I mean, that's the story of the game.
The running backs did their usual thing, but once again, the wide receivers left something to be desired there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's going into next week with his 3 best running backs all on bye.
No way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, our Dan and I's matchup, he's down his top 3 running backs, so Bell, Gordon, Howard. I'm down Brady, Gronk, and Antonio, so it's going to
Wow.
be kind of
Okay.
weird.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. I was just about to say that's a damn unlucky week to lose your 3 guys, and then I mean I guess it ends up being kind of even anyway.
Yeah.
But that'll be a good one. Yeah. So like I said before, Dan's still second in scoring, second in WIB, but Brock, you've closed the gap a little bit after this week. And now you guys get to match up next week. That's nice.
Fun.
I
Nice
like
little
that.
timing on the non-conference slate here.
Yeah.
Who made that schedule anyway?
I don't know, but he must be goddamn impressive at what he does. It's
It's a nice little mid-season game here to grab everyone's attention during the dog days of the season here.
yeah.
Dog days.
Yeah, this is where it gets kind of grindy till you get to like
It's a grind right now.
12,
It really
and then
is.
it's like, oh, playoffs are taking shape. But yeah, no, one of you guys is going to be 5-4. That's kind of a big deal.
It's scary.
Wow. But yeah, no, I mean, I think obviously, Dan still has potentially the best. Like I'd still say he is potentially the best team in Web right now. It's just a matter of this week lost and this week I won. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a fight down the stretch between me and Dan for who wants the Big 5 more. But now we'll see.
I don't know what it would be, but I have the feeling in my gut that like it's been a while since we've seen Dan make a big trade. Like his trades have pretty much been limited to like draft day trades like the last couple of years.
Yeah,
I think this deadline might be the one. I think we might see a splash.
that would
I
be
feel like I can sense something brewing.
wild. A big Dan trade.
And this isn't me giving some insider information. This is just
A hunch.
purely speculation. Yeah.
Okay.
This isn't like I'm currently working on a big trade.
I might be, sending Gronk his way. No, dude, like I think you're actually right though, because like how long has it been since Dan made like a splash on the trade? And, like, that used to be like his thing,
Was it the Melvin trade? I can't.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, and I mean that was with a new owner too. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like the whole joke, like people don't trade with Dan anymore, but like it's actually a real thing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
people kind of like blacklisted him for trading like big, and yeah, I mean it's definitely possible this season. Like he's to go out and grab a wide receiver, like a solid wide receiver to plug in, like that would be huge for his team. But
Those also are not very plentiful this year.
that's true. Yeah, it's definitely a tough
Yeah.
market.
The wide receiver scoring, I looked at it today. It's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
Literally, Juju has
6
one 25-point game. He's the number 10 scoring wide receiver.
Yeah. There's like 6 wide receivers averaging more than 10 points a game.
That's what, like, we're averaging 9 points less per game. Like it's a large reason for
Receivers.
that.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
For sure. All right. What's next? How about Tim and Dirty Dave? So we talked about Tim a little bit before, but okay. I've spent the last 2 or 3 weeks now destroying Tim on the podcast for his overachieving team. But I'm going to take a moment to say that Tim currently has the tied for the best record in Web 8 weeks through the season. So regardless of how he got there, he's considered to be one of the best teams in Web. He's the best team in the Pac-5 record-wise right now. And, I mean, whatever is going to happen with Zeke here in the coming, if it is indeed on for the next 6 weeks, then obviously his offense takes a pretty significant hit. But at the same time, let us remember that his next 3 weeks are Josh, Dave, and Josh.
Mm-hmm.
So 6 games, 3 of them are against 2 of the lowest scoring teams. 3 of them are against the 2 lowest scoring teams in the league. 3 of them are, 4 of his last 6 games are against some of the lowest scoring teams in the league because he ends the season with Caleb. And say what you want about Caleb, he's one of the lowest scoring teams in the league. So, I mean, if he can get into the playoffs and he gets Zeke back for his playoff matchups, he's still right there. And he's got a good chance to win enough games down the stretch to put him right there to get in. Mm-hmm. So it's just a matter of how significant this affects his team. And if he can keep winning games that he shouldn't be winning, because that's also been a thing this season.
Yeah, so looking at it, he's got 6 wins right now. If you assume that you, Corf, Dan, I mean like you as in you, Corf,
yeah.
Not you, Caleb. Quiet down. You, Dan, and me are the 3 playoff teams. The other 3, just assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Tim with 6 wins. The teams that he's probably going to have to fight off potentially would be Parker, Caleb, and maybe a ridiculous Carter run.
Yeah.
Other than that, so how many games can we picture like Parker, like if Tim wins 2 games and gets to 8, do we picture Parker getting 5 wins yet to beat him?
It's going to be
or
tough.
4 and beat him in scoring? Or Caleb even sneak in? So I'd say if Tim just gets like out of the next 6 without Zeke, that he's probably going to be in.
Yeah. And that's,
I mean, even do it with 2.
It's the luxury of, he's gotten his lucky games so far. He's got a win over Dan. He's got a win over you, Brock. He's got a win over me. Like, he's beaten the 3 best teams in the league so far. And he's only got a whip of 4.1. It's not like god awful, but like it's not good at all. And he's 17 points out of the like playoff tier for scoring. Like he's number 5 in scoring right now, behind Parker currently. But yeah, no, the way that it's shaken out with him winning some of those games, like now he's set himself up to, he's got the right matchups at the right times to still get himself into the playoffs. And I think that, honestly, that's, I don't know. Like, I want to say that he's kind of like locked and loaded to make it.
But you never know.
But you never know. That's the thing.
Webb is wild.
He's 6-2. Like, he would have to monumentally screw up to miss the playoffs at this point. Like, that includes like 2 losses, 2 or 3 losses to like Josh, Dave, and Caleb.
If he goes 2-1 in the next like stretch, the Dave Josh or Josh Dave stretch, if he goes 2-1, he's in.
Yeah.
Because then he's just got to win like 1 more, and then that should be pretty safe with 9.
Yeah, I don't see how 9 and 5 wouldn't do it this year, just the way that it's working out. So, yeah, I think he's set himself up well for the Zeke suspension part of the season. So, yeah, Dirty Dave, on the other hand, obviously we're not talking playoffs with this team. Coming off of his 2nd consecutive week low.
On a pretty downward spiral here.
Yeah, and I mean, he had like the weird little like 2-0 start, like what is this team kind of a thing, and But I mean, at the end of the day, like, say it how it is. He's the lowest scoring team in Web right now. He's the good news for Dave is that he has his own first this year. So this is 2 years in a row where Dave has a first, and it's going to be another. Like Dave's in the mix. Even though he's 3-5, he's still in the mix for the first overall. Because I would definitely say that. I mean, this probably won't happen, but he has a good chance of losing the rest of his games. And I don't know if Kelvin has, I think Kelvin will win 2 more. And if that happens, then Dave's right there. But a little early to be talking about Saquon, but
there'll be other good players. Probably some high character ones. That will be available in the top 3, I would assume.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know anybody. I don't know a single player that's getting drafted this year that has fantasy relevance besides Saquon. So
Darius Geis.
Okay, maybe I do know that one.
Sounds like you need to buy yourself a draft breakdown subscription. Only $2 a month. Sign up today.
When I saw that, I was like, wow, am I glad I stopped, because I would have been upset if I would have seen that. But yeah, maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. This team's found a way to win 3 games so far. He might find a way to win some more, but
they're gritty. Yep, they're gritty. Nobody in the locker room is going to lose focus at all.
It's true.
There's going to be no distractions.
That's the benefit of going high character.
They're going to fight to the bitter end.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There will be no tanking.
Oh man, Dave, what a guy. Yeah. All right. Last game of the week then. Josh and Kelvin. Dude, this Kelvin spiral is it's weird, it's weird. He's like a team that played in the title game last season, and honestly, who isn't performing he's not performing at a 1-win level. Let's just say that. But he's 1-7, and he just lost the game to Josh.
Lost to Josh.
So,
Josh, we officially, for the first time this year, have a new leader in the Saquon race with Calvin.
Yep.
So yeah.
It's honestly kind of like if it happens, if Kelvin continues to lose and gets the first overall pick, imagine what that does for this team moving into next season, though. He gets a premier player to plug in at the running back spot. And I mean, there's definitely some holes in other spots, but he has another first this season, right?
Yep. Parker's
from the LaCoy trade.
McCoy. Yep. So that's like a mid first right now.
Yep. So he's gonna have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, infuse some youth into this roster with the pieces that are already there. I mean, honestly, this season for Kelvin is just kind of an unfortunate. It's been unfortunate, but honestly, I think we even said this last week. It might be what the team needed to get some youth back into it and get some excitement back into it.
Yeah, cut bait with McCoy, who he's gonna fall off pretty soon, but he didn't need him at all this year. Might replace McCoy with a guy who I'm pretty sure is probably just gonna step in and be an RB1 immediately. I'm gonna almost guarantee it. And yeah, this might have been the perfect storm. Caleb, are you talking? This might have been the perfect storm for Calvin to just gets out to a 1-6 start and just all right, McCoy gone. McCoy stop it. McCoy gone, forces him to ripped the Band-Aid off, and now like that's gonna help him not win as many games. And Barkley's he's in play. He's in play.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially for like Calvin got into the playoffs last year, obviously like unexpectedly, but it was also a year in which like there was not three. Well, you can't really even consider like Parker like is what he is this year, but like there's definitely three teams in the Big Five that are like doing well, and like Calvin's just not, like he wasn't gonna make the playoffs probably like based on what's happened so far, and like to just have a season which is just like unfortunate and like he's in play for the number 1 pick, like it's kind of just like good luck for him. Because like either he like doesn't make the playoffs and has like the 4th or 5th pick, or he has like this kind of a season and gets the pick. So hey,
it seems like you got me now. Yeah, I was just gonna try and say, it's finally time. Sort of hitting the reset button here. Finally gonna get some. We talked about the lack of superstars. What he needs. Get Saquon in there. He's still got Cooks. He's got the draft pick ammo if he hits on it. He'll be doing just fine. The defense is looking okay. But yeah, I think this is what really needed to happen for Calvin to finally bridge that gap that, he was like a borderline playoff team every year. Now he can finally try to become one of the, stud teams.
Yeah, like he's in the championship game, and usually once you do that fall from grace, there's a couple of average years. He's just gonna skip those.
Yeah, he's just gonna bypass that, go straight to rebuild. And
it's funny though because one team that played in the title game followed it up with 0-14, and
it's becoming common. Yeah,
very strange stuff. Josh is kind of a similar situation in the fact that he has a lot of ammunition heading into draft season. Like he has 2 firsts. And he gets a 2nd back now with the Chris Thompson trade. So, yeah, I mean, Josh is like he's been that team for like 2 or 3 years now. That's kind of like searching for its identity. And I think that like obviously he's still in play for the number 1 overall pick. And he has my first, which looks to be later, but still just kind of infusing some young guns into the team. And, like the good thing for Josh about this season is that he's gotten production out of guys, like it allows him to make trades like a 2nd for Chris Thompson and, like the whole Chris Hogan thing and all of this stuff. And, like I think that Josh maybe is like finally hitting that like I'm gonna turn a corner part, like he's finally got enough like invested in the draft that like maybe we'll see like some turnaround. Like he had the number 1 overall pick last season, got Corey Davis, traded him, got another first, got Devontae Parker, and now like he's gonna turn that and keep kind of grinding that out and working his way back. So
it's starting to look at least like a little bit of excitement, like a light in the tunnel here for Josh too, especially with Paul Richardson kind of
Paul
emerging.
Richardson has arrived, according to Josh's Twitter.
He's arrived.
That's good to see.
Yeah, he's snuck a 2nd out of Chris Thompson here tonight.
Got Josh Reynolds, one of his guys.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
one of his guys
is pretty happy with that trade.
Yeah, I would be.
Yeah.
Chris Thompson kind of comes out of nowhere, just get some value out of him. Probably going to get something for Chris Hogan, I would assume, with the wide receiver shortage that's going on.
He got hurt. He might be out a few weeks, actually.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But so he probably won't catch as much as he would have. So we'll see, I guess. Maybe he'll just hold on to him at that point.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah.
Also, Alex Collins.
Yeah, what the hell?
Does Josh have him?
Yeah. I was wondering who had him because after Thursday, he had kind of been receiving like a lot of praise. And yeah, Josh has him. So
yeah, I think I saw a tweet. I retweeted. He has more rushing yards than Jay Ajayi on like 100 less attempts or something. So,
If
yeah,
Alex
that.
Collins, Aaron Jones, Paul Richardson, Devontae Parker, top
Yeah.
1 or 2, 3 draft pick, another first.
It's looking
Got
nice.
a nice score.
We're getting giddy over Josh's team. It's been a while since that
It's been
happened.
a while. It has. I'm excited.
light years ahead of where he was last year at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, all right, that's week 8. Let's do some lightning round predictions for week 9 real quick here, and then I think we have a fun little topic to discuss to end the show today. So, Big 5 matchups this week. Your Big 5 leader, the Moneymakers, are facing off with Carson Wentz and the crew over at Kelvin's team.
Ooh, the line is not looking good in this one. 57
No.
points.
No Cooks. He's down 2 linebackers.
Ooh.
Orf looks relatively clean on buys.
Surprisingly,
It's
I
gonna
have
be
quite a few.
You do?
It kind of snuck up on me a little bit. Like I'm starting Ted Ginn again.
Oh.
And a few like weird defensive guys, but like yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Corf in a blowout.
Yeah, Corf.
Same. This is kind of a fun one. Second Big 5 game. Parker and Carter.
Ooh.
So we just got done talking about how much we sneakily like Carter's team, and he just came off a win against Dan.
This is a huge game for Parker. Would you call it a must win?
I would call it, yeah. Honestly, like it's a must win.
In order to keep away his chaser here in the Big 5, guy on his heels.
Like, think about that though. If Carter beats Parker, they have the same record.
Yeah. And Carter's in the thick of it.
Like it's kind of a big game.
It's a really
for,
big game.
For the both of these teams are like thinking like they have a shot, like an outside shot at getting into the playoffs. Like this is a must win.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pick Parker to hold him off.
I'm gonna take Carter.
Damn.
It's probably a must win for both of these teams.
Yeah,
it really is.
Seasons are
must win.
Carter pretty much has to win out.
Yeah,
and Parker like can't afford to like drop like many more games. Damn, I'm gonna pick. This is a big one, dude. This is awesome.
I didn't realize how big
little matchup here.
Yeah, this week's pretty crazy.
I'm gonna pick Parker. Yeah, he gave me a good run for my money this past week. I think he'll put up another good performance. But I like this one a lot. This is fun.
You want to change your pick, Caleb? Because we both picked Parker.
It's fine. I'm right.
You idiot. All right, Pack 5. We got Tim and Josh. So first Josh game of the year for Tim. What do we think? Both of these teams are coming off a win.
I'm going to be pulling hard for Josh. We probably have Zeke suspended. I feel like there's that sneaky window for Josh to kind of mix it up here. But I think I'm going to pick Tim.
Yeah, Tyreek put up 1.8 this week, so he's bound to go off for like 20 next week. So I'm going to take Tim.
Keep in mind that Josh would have beaten Tim had they matched up 4 times already this season. Including last week.
I really want to pick Josh, but the whole Tyreek Hill factor, that's my thinking.
Josh is down Chris Thompson, but he's going to probably put Alex Collins into the lineup now.
Alex Collins, Aaron Jones.
Dude,
it's going to be close, I think.
Screw it, man. I'm picking Josh. I'm going to pick him.
All right, I'm changing my pick. I'm picking Josh. Yes.
I love it. Like, imagine that though. Imagine that, Josh
I'm imagining, and it's glorious.
knocking off the newly Zekeless Tim team.
I would like it. I'd be a fan.
I know. Yeah, fuck off, Tim.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Josh.
Right, Gore.
Dude, it's not even a bad prediction. It's literally not even a bad prediction.
I was gonna pick him. It's just the Tyreek Hill thing. Like literally, this thing. It just bothers me how crazy it is. 19-4, 15-3, 12-2, 19-1. He's gonna go off for 20 this week.
No. Oh no.
Sorry, Josh. It's just you fell on the wrong week. It's on the odd weeks he goes off.
Oh man. Wow.
I'm not picking any more teams with Frank Gore in their lineup ever.
Oh my god. All right. Second Pac-5 game. Caleb and Dave.
Oh god.
Dave's spiraling out of control. I'm going Caleb.
I'm picking myself.
I'm gonna pick Caleb as
Very
well.
confidently. You listen to my voice.
If Josh beats Tim and Caleb beats Dave, they're tied once again. And Brock, you may also be tied.
Brock
at 6-3.
wins. Yeah, be a fun little. Yeah, need it. I need me at the top.
It's exciting.
All right, and then you know what time it is. Interconference game of the week. Biggest one of the season so far. Number 1 versus number 2 in terms of scoring and WIB, Brock and Dan.
Ooh.
Whew.
One and only matchup of the season.
And it's a big one. It's a doozy. It's tough. Dan has lost his entire defense.
I just saw that.
He has 4 defensive starters out on buys just this week to go along with his top 3 running backs. So he's going to be starting some waiver wire fodder here on defense. Jesus. I'm also starting George Kittle. Not upset about it. I'm just saying it's not ideal.
Oh god.
It's weird. We got each team a little hurt by buys. I think I'm a little less hurt, so I'm gonna go with myself.
Okay. Yeah. I just think the fact that he can lose his top 3 running backs and still field 2 running backs that are better than my starters right now just kind of hurts inside. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Brock here.
Remember last week on the pod when I said Dan should be able to handle all his bye weeks perfectly fine, and not if they all happen at the same time.
Yeah, right. No, Brock, during your 3-game winning streak, you would have beaten Dan 2 times had you matched up. Given the bye situation and some weird little things happening. Also, the fact that this is the game in which you could theoretically pull into sole possession of first place in the Pac-5. I think I'm going to pick Brock.
All right.
Was that a clean sweep?
I think so.
I think it was.
Ding.
All right. So to end the show today, we're going to talk about something a little bit interesting. Draft Breakdown, as you may have heard earlier, is now charging $2 per month to use their site. That led Brock to come up with a theoretical situation. Brock, why don't you tell us what you were thinking about?
Yeah, so Draft Breakdown announced today the $2 thing, which got me to the point of thinking where, like, I have to pay this $2 because I'm going to use it and it's going to bug me if I don't pay this $2. So that got me thinking on a much larger scale of things that I use all the time. Twitter. And then I was wondering, how much could Twitter all of a sudden charge on a per month subscription basis that I would have no choice but to pay? And it's a lot.
Like, there's a lot to this question.
Because, yeah, when you think about, like, obviously you think if they charge an obscene amount of money, like, something else will just come up.
Yeah.
But I've already built this following of 400 plus people that I have completely customized and tailored to my needs to look at. And the thought of trying to do that all again on a different platform is
Yeah, I think that honestly the biggest thing is like you already have the identity. Like
yeah, you
identity is there on Twitter.
We got people with 20,000 tweets and
yeah, like there's a lot of history. Like the one thing about if they charged money, like I feel like a lot of people would just say like, well, fuck that.
Yeah.
And so then like you're tweeting to less people and it makes you feel like it's not as important, even though like right now it's still only like 160 people for myself. So it's just like, does it really fucking matter? Like
you just feel important. Almost like I'm putting this thing out on the Twitter that the president also uses. Like
that's what
my tweets are important too.
Yeah.
Like anybody can see it. Like it's just out there for everybody.
Like you could go viral at any moment, any tweet.
Yeah. That's what makes it addicting. Just play the game and maybe it'll work out for you. Maybe we could just transition back to Facebook.
Stop it.
We just start posting again, you know.
Like I think I want to put the line at like $25. I think if it got above that, the process would start towards back to one of those things like Facebook or the Gram.
Dude, I have officially made the Gram number 2 on my social media rank. We're not counting Snapchat as a social media. That's like a thing because like technically
it's almost like texting.
Yeah, but it's like it's not a social media. It's just like picture texting.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I would pay more for YouTube than Twitter, but that's just me.
I think I would too. I would struggle to pay more than $10 a month for Twitter.
Yeah, no. When you say 25, there's no way. Obviously, we're in different situations right now in our lives, but
I mean, like that's like if they said like, oh, we're gonna charge you $20 a month to use this. Like, I can't say for sure that I would say no to that.
I would think about it.
I
think I would end up saying
no.
Yes to Twitter for $20 a month.
Oh man,
like none of those other social medias do it the same like way where it's just so it's not bogged down by crap. It's just all the stuff you want and
true.
That's true.
It is
like think of all of the values that Twitter has. Like you get your news from Twitter.
It's been my number one news source for like the past 5 years.
Right? I know. Like all of the current events that have happened since I got Twitter, I've learned about on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like comedy value, like funny tweets, like you know, and then you have like all your friends, like the whole like that whole aspect. Like I would probably I don't know, man. $15. I'm gonna say $15. Yeah.
I'd pay 20. I'd have to seriously. I'm on the fence at 25 because I feel like at 25 it's just at 25 enough people are gonna get off of Twitter where it wouldn't pay them to have it.
If it was 20, it would just drop like flies. There's no way.
I feel like 20 and it could maybe have a chance because
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think that if like you would lose all of like the like casual like people on Twitter, but like you'd still have like your news people, you know,
main guys. You'd have less trolls actually, probably.
Well, yeah. No more egg abbies.
Yeah.
That might be a good thing.
This is all of a sudden smart, yeah.
Like, but then the question is, would I have to pay a subscription fee for all of my Twitter accounts?
What if
like, you have to pay one for web
what
and
if
one for
What if you just had to pay like a little? Oh wow! What if you had to like pay money to follow people? Like it's like 25 cents to follow Abrock2312.
Dude, I would pay like $7 to follow Brock.
Ooh,
it's like the original funniest Twitter account I've ever followed.
the original. DiCaprio tweets.
Yeah, like, dude, let me tell you something about the early days of Twitter. Like, A. Brack had some of the funniest tweets I've ever seen in my
Fire
life.
flames.
It's fire flames coming from the A. Brack 23.
Oh my god.
Like,
It's so funny looking back at those old tweets. You know,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love just going back and liking all of them just so you can see them. Like, I wasn't on Twitter back at like during that, but like just seeing the shit you guys said was hilarious.
it's honestly
I don't
funny
even-
just to see how much we've all like changed
Yeah.
since that point, you know?
I don't remember 75% of my tweets. Like if you pull one up from 2013, there's a 75% chance I won't remember ever typing those words.
Same. It's ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
I used to be nice to Tim. Like I used to put like exclamation points in my tweets to Tim.
I
Like,
used to try.
yeah, you want to watch The Walking Dead this week after school? Like, yeah, man, come on. Now it's just like, fuck off. Why are you talking to me?
Fuck. Stop tweeting at me, dick.
Oh my god. I love Twitter so much. I'm trying to love Instagram. Like I'm really trying to make it
It's
something
pretty
important.
nice, man.
It's better
Slowly
than
getting over it.
Facebook. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Like I've been
Way better,
increasing my photo rate and like I've followed a bunch of people recently, really trying to grow the brand.
Mingram.
The main It's
Okay.
nice.
So we're setting the line at 17 and a half.
All right. $17.50. Tweet us at web.com.dl and let us know if you would pay $17.50 per month to use Twitter.
That is. Where's
Keep
the
in mind,
stats guy? What is that a
Less
year?
trolls. Less trolls.
Less trolls. You still have all of your news because all of those people are going to pay for it, or they're going to get it paid for by their,
Mhm.
whatever.
All you guys are all about to drop $60 on a game that you're going to spend less time on than Twitter. You're probably going to spend half your waiting time on the game on Twitter.
$210 a year. $210 a year for how many hours per year do you think you use Twitter? It's a lot.
I've
Yeah,
It's a
used it
lot.
every day for I don't even know how long,
probably like
and at least a couple hours a day.
If you spend like a cumulative even just 3 hours on Twitter, it's over 1,000 hours per year.
Mhm. It's just always
5 cents per hour of the year.
like it's always in my hand, no matter what I'm doing. Like if I'm watching sports, Twitter is
yeah,
right
because
there.
it's along the way with you. Like you get the narrative of like you're watching a
Mhm.
sports game and you get the people giving their input, see what's happening. It's so great.
It's another thing. It's almost replaced commentary.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
The shit they say on Twitter is
I don't care unless it's Romo. I don't care what you say.
yeah. See what the internet has to say.
My Twitter is commenting. You're commentating this game for me. What is the word? Comment.
Commentating.
Commentating?
Commentating.
Providing-
That's the one.
Okay, commentating this game for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's
That's a nice little
wild
discussion.
thinking about. I hope it never comes true for real, but yeah. Well, all right.
That's
Week 8,
fun.
everybody.
Yeah.
Got anything else to add before we sign her off?
No, I don't.
I'm
Unless
good.
I want to bash Tim, but I don't feel like it this week.
I just want every single person in web to know that I love them. They're all incredible human beings. And also, one final thought. Never stop believing in destiny. That's all.
Let it ride. Always let it ride.
Always
Let's ride.
Never ever stop letting it ride. Go favorite my tweet. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and Make it a great week 9.